So we're at ODO here in Richmond, Virginia, and with Mike's Builds. We talked to him last year, so kind of a follow-up interview a year later, like pretty much to the day. So how you been, man? How's the...
Been good. Life is lifing, that's for sure. Some stuff happens, but you know, we're here, we're back.
Cool.
You know,
Awesome.
The hobby's a hobby. Always appreciate it, love it.
Nice. What have you been working on the last year? What did you bring today, I guess?
I brought this HG Witcher Mercury aerial.
Okay.
I was challenged by SMS, the scale model supply company. Scott, the owner, sent me a couple paints, and he gave me a challenge. He said, "Hey, you can only use these 3 reds, a specific black and white, and that's it. This is your challenge. I could do whatever I wanted to." Top coat was like, you know, hey, you can do whatever top coat, but I had to stay within the parameters. It was very tough because I wish I could have done more, but at the same time, I'm very proud of what I did.
That's cool.
Had to add a little bit of the Xeon symbols just to kind of give it that red comet feeling.
Right, I saw red and I was like, oh, is this like a Char-inspired kind of thing? With the
added some menacing claws because I don't know, it's just the red the red comet color scheme is just, it's menacing, so I felt like I had to add the Koto, I think it was the Kotobukiya hands.
Okay, that's cool. I was going to ask what you did for the hands. That's awesome. Cool. And you brought some other stuff too, you said?
Yeah, I brought a GM Dominance, Philip Hughes, a P Bandai. I actually stepped out of my comfort zone. As you can see here, I actually try to build a diorama, try to build a base. I've been noticing a lot of people doing it, so I was like, all right, well, I feel confident where I'm at with my skills. I'm very appreciative. You know, there's always more room to grow.
Sure.
But I wanted to step out of my comfort zone and try something new. And I learned like building dioramas is actually really fun.
Yeah.
You know, last year's interview was all about resin. I still got a couple in the works. That just takes more time and patience, of course. But dioramas are kind of like something I'm getting into. Cool. Not for every kit, but certain ones.
Get into. So I'm so curious. Whenever I'm seeing diorama stuff, I'm asking about it because I'm starting into my first diorama now. So what do you use for ground texture here? What's the...
First and foremost, I got a lot of advice from a lot of people, so I always encourage like everybody, hey, just go ahead and ask anybody that's done it.
Sure.
You know, like similar to what the hobby is, but this time I used some Mod Podge glue with some cheap acrylic black paint, kind of like as its base.
Okay.
I applied it first, and then I just added some textured sand. You can really grab any sand.
Okay.
After that, I just went over with another Mod Podge. Kind of wanted to go with the black feel for that one, just because I wanted to give it that space kind of feel. But added rocks too as well. A lot of the glue. So yeah, that's what I did with at least this one. The other one went a bit more above and beyond because I crunching on time with ODO, so wish I could have done more again, but proud of what I accomplished with this one for sure.
Cool. So since we talked to you last time, you're doing a lot of resin stuff then and all that stuff. What would you say, is there anything that you took from the last show that you're like, I need to work on this, or you learned something from the show? What did you take from that and incorporate, if anything?
From what you know, just from speaking to judges and just and other good people in the hobby, I've noticed that you know, the whole term gunpla is freedom is really a very true statement. So everything is all about perspective and all about what you put out there. So for me, from what I took of it, I was like, all right, well, you know, I was successful and I was happy with what I came out with. And what I took from it was just kind of, I wanted to do more storytelling, at least on my end. For this one, it's more so, you know, I think I kind of explained, you know, just the arrival of a very menacing villain. For my other ones, I just wanted to give some more love and attention. So I feel like dioramas was kind of like the go-to. You know, shout out to Nickel Models. I know he's one inspiration. Gunpla, he's been good. A lot of guys, and I think everyone, even from what I've been speaking to, we all said the same thing. It was like, I think we need to get just add a little bit more to our kits, you know, and as we keep leveling up and getting better. But I'm always going to say the same thing though, as to finalize the answer. Just keep sharpening the basics. I'm always about being more cleaner. I think this year compared to my last year, I can confidently say I have no mistakes. Like I've literally been more Harper, going back to like, all right, you know what, this is what I'm satisfied. Just going back, if I have to resand, retouch up something, that's what I'm gonna do. And whatever happens, happens. I'm here, I'm proud of what I put out, and proud of everyone even coming, because this is a way better turnout than last year's. And this has got me fueled. I'm over here like, man, now I gotta really like step it up, like harder.
So a couple other questions. So I don't know, are these builds that you brought this time, are any of these that you made specifically for competition, or are they ones that you just made and they happen to be what you've done most recently?
The aerial is for sure one that I just done most recently. Again, this one's more of a sponsored build from SMS. In a sense, wanted to showcase, hey, these paints are amazing. But most of my kits, from what I've been doing, at least 90% of all my kits have been SMS. Not by sponsored, not at all. Just that's just my preference of paint. I still love Gaia. I use Mr. Color. I use still a lot of other paints, but that's just my comfort zone. I really love SMS, and just they make it really easy on the painter per se. But the GM Dominance is definitely the kit that I can genuinely say, like, nah, I took my time, I opened it, and I went in on trying to make sure that this was IPMS ready, IPMS flawless. Like, again, there ain't nothing wrong with it. So
So when you're taking a kit like that and you're like, I want to do this for competition, what's your process in figuring out what you're going to do, like from the mindset of I want to win this competition? Because you're here to show off your best work, but what do you think about when you're trying to figure out how to put your best foot forward, how to step up to be the best that you can put out for competition?
For starters, I go with I'm gonna always say this. One, I go with a kit that I'm like, all right, what am I gonna be passionate about immediately?
Right. Okay.
Every kit in my backlog I have a passion for, but at that point you gotta start going nitpicking, like, all right, what am I in the mood for, and what am I really like wanting to just bring out the best details in. And then also I gotta be realistic with my life. I gotta look, all right, well, what can I balance life? And also, me putting in the effort. Shout out my wife, because she knows it. She gave me an immense amount of time to really get down to it and get put the crunch time in. But after that, I started looking at I started building the kit up, snapping it up. I always say snap it up, really look at what the kit is, make sure that after you apply paint, because you don't want to scrape anything, and that's just going to cause stress and a lot of issues down the line when you want to build, lose motivation. But at that point, like I said, I just build it up, get the colors really to pop, and from there, just start going. Like I said, once you sharpen those basics, just continuously doing that, properly sanding, proper nub removal, seam line removal, mold line removal. Just like I said, basics. That's what I care about, at least when I'm gonna bring here. I want to make sure that I'm gonna go with some flawless foundational skills, and from there, let's bring the creativity out. Let's bring out colors. Let's bring out concepts and all that other stuff.
Cool. And you've obviously, this mid-afternoon now, so you've been here a while. Is there anything you've seen on the table that you think's like the one to beat, or just particularly interesting or really good work that you want to like check out?
Oh, easy. That Zeta, that bust Zeta, a bit biased. I kind of been wanting a bust, so that kind of, like, I hate to say it, that kind of got me like, all right, it's time to find a bust. Haven't found one that I really want to have on my shelf presence. Hopefully they come out with a Barbatos, but that's neither here or there. But that Zeta was flawless. Like when I spoke about like foundational skills and just being clean, that bust was sound. Like look, I'm glad I'm not a judge, because that's an instant tough to beat. But I mean, there's still a lot more other ones. That's just the first one that came to mind, because I was extremely impressed, and I didn't even get to put my kids down. From there, I know I seen a custom Barbatos, and I know I seen a custom heavy arms over there. Nickel Models' base model is still amazing. That's kind of one of the models that actually got me to say, all right, I got to step my diorama game up. But yeah, there's like a few. If I haven't mentioned it, trust me, there's a lot. Like I said, this is more than the one it was last year. So a lot of people stepped up, even from this area. Like even that one, I actually saw that. That was actually like weathered and highlighted pretty good.
Cool. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Good seeing you again.
No, seriously, I appreciate it. Definitely will.